He thought her wheelchair made her weak, until the night he kissed his mistress right in front of her. What he didn't know was that his helpless wife had already uncovered his crimes, and that kiss became the weapon that destroyed his entire empire. This is how a billionaire fell, and how the woman he underestimated rose stronger than ever. Nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared her for the moment her husband leaned forward, slipped his hand around another woman's waist, and kissed her. Right in front of everyone, right in front of his own wife, sitting silently in her wheelchair. The ballroom transformed instantly. Conversations died mid-sentence. Champagne glasses stopped halfway to lips. Even the orchestra faltered, a violin string screeching as the musician missed a note. All eyes turned to one place. Logan Parker, billionaire CEO, and the woman he dared to kiss openly while his wife watched. Cameras flashed like lightning. Phones rose into the air. Gasps rippled across the room in waves. Some guests covered their mouths. Others whispered, "Is that really happening?" A few stepped back, afraid they were witnessing the kind of scandal that would explode across every news channel by morning. And yet, amidst all the chaos, all the shock, all the humiliation swirling around her, Amelia did not cry. She did not tremble. She did not shout or wheel herself away. She simply blinked. A slow, deliberate blink. The kind of blink that hides a storm behind calm eyes. Because they all saw her as fragile, the wheelchair-bound wife, the woman who had suffered too much, the woman people pitied. They thought she was helpless. They thought she was stuck. They thought she was trapped with a cruel husband she couldn't escape. But none of them knew the truth. Amelia had been planning something for weeks. Long nights spent studying documents Logan never meant for her to see. Silent mornings pretending not to notice his disappearing wealth, his secret transfers, his whispered phone calls. She had uncovered lies, affairs, and a betrayal so deep it nearly shattered her. Nearly, because instead of breaking her, it sharpened her. It hardened her resolve. It made her patient. Nobody knew she had already found the weapon that could ruin him. The evidence he thought she'd never be strong enough or smart enough to uncover. And tonight, in his arrogance, he had given her the last piece she needed. The kiss wasn't just betrayal. It wasn't just disrespect. It wasn't just an insult to the woman he'd promised to love. It was a confession, a public humiliation, a motive captured for the world to see. And as Logan pulled away from the kiss with a satisfied smirk, he had no idea. This moment wasn't breaking Amelia. It was empowering her. It was the spark she needed to destroy him completely. Amelia Parker had once been a respected investigative journalist, sharp, fearless, and famous for exposing corruption in places most people were too scared to look. Her writing shook companies, toppled politicians, and gave voice to people who had none. She was a woman defined by strength. But 2 years ago, everything changed. A devastating car accident left her wheelchair-bound. The world saw tragedy. Headlines framed her as a fallen hero, a brilliant mind trapped in a damaged body. But the person who changed the most wasn't Amelia. It was her husband, Logan Parker, billionaire CEO of Parker International. Publicly, Logan transformed into the picture-perfect spouse. He held her hand during interviews. He pushed her wheelchair at charity events. He told the world she was his greatest inspiration. People admired him for it. But behind closed doors, the mask slipped. Logan treated Amelia like a burden. Something inconvenient, something broken, something he hadn't signed up for. The man who once promised to love her now treated her like part of the furniture. He wheeled her out only when it made him look good. When he didn't need pity points or good press, he shoved her into the shadows of his luxurious home and continued living as if she didn't exist. Their marriage had been fracturing long before the accident, but Amelia stayed, not out of weakness, but out of calculation. Amelia had learned Logan was hiding something. Money going missing, mysterious offshore transfers, properties purchased under other names, business trips that didn't line up, late-night phone calls he thought she couldn't hear. She felt the truth tugging at her instincts, the instincts that once won her awards. And then it happened. One afternoon, an accountant, new, nervous, and clearly inexperienced, accidentally sent Amelia an email meant for Logan. Attached was a folder titled, "Final Transition Plan, AP Removal." At first, Amelia thought it was related to her care. But as she opened the files, her heart froze. It was a plan to erase her. Not help her, not support her, erase her financially, erase her socially, erase her legally. It outlined how Logan would cut her out of the company, how he would move assets so she received nothing in a divorce, how he would claim she was mentally unfit due to trauma, how he would place her in a long-term care facility for stability. Logan had built an entire future that didn't include her. He thought she couldn't fight back. He thought the wheelchair made her powerless. He thought her silence meant weakness. But Amelia was a journalist. And journalists don't break, they investigate. So she gathered every document, every file, every hidden transfer. She waited, quietly, patiently. And on the night in the ballroom, when Logan kissed another woman right in front of her, humiliating her publicly, he had no idea. He had just given Amelia the final piece she needed to destroy him. The charity gala was supposed to be her night. Months of planning, months of rehabilitation, months of gathering strength just to appear in public again. The event honored Amelia's advocacy work before the accident. Her fight for justice, her dedication to underrepresented communities, her investigative brilliance. As she entered the ballroom, guests rose to greet her. Warm hands touched her shoulder, kind smiles welcomed her, and people whispered, "Amelia's back. She looks so strong. She's an inspiration." But the one person who should have been proud of her wasn't. Logan Parker didn't look at her with admiration. He didn't even seem to see her. His eyes were locked on the entrance, waiting for someone else. And when the tall, glamorous woman in a red silk dress stepped inside, the entire room shifted. Heads turned, whispers surged, and the energy snapped like electricity. Sabrina Vale. Everyone knew her name. An influencer. A socialite. A woman famous for chasing high-profile men and becoming a trending topic overnight. She didn't walk into the gala. She arrived, with the confidence of someone who knew she was the center of attention. Logan didn't hesitate, didn't flinch, didn't even pretend to respect the wife sitting a few feet away. He strode straight to Sabrina, placed his hand on her lower back, and guided her like they had rehearsed the moment. The crowd parted for them like royalty passing through. And then, right in the center of the ballroom, he kissed her. Not a small kiss, not an accident, but a deep, arrogant, possessive kiss designed to humiliate. Gasps erupted. Phones shot into the air. Guests froze mid-step. The orchestra faltered again, this time stopping completely. The only sound was the rapid-fire clicking of camera shutters. Logan slowly pulled away from Sabrina and looked directly at his wife. His smirk was cold, cruel, almost triumphant. "As you can see," he murmured, just loud enough for Amelia to hear, "our marriage is basically over. It's time you understand your place." Everyone expected Amelia to cry, to break, to wheel herself out in humiliation. But instead, she smiled. A small, controlled, chilling smile. A smile that didn't belong to a defeated woman, but to someone who had already won. Because that kiss wasn't just betrayal. It was evidence. Public. Recorded. Undeniable. And it gave Amelia exactly what she had spent months waiting for. A public scandal. A public confession. A public motive. The missing piece. Logan thought he was embarrassing her. He didn't realize he had just handed her the final weapon she needed to destroy him completely. 2 days before the gala, while Logan believed she was quietly recovering at home, Amelia was already orchestrating a plan powerful enough to dismantle his empire. She contacted 3 people, each one chosen with precision. A high-profile divorce attorney known for destroying corrupt billionaires. A federal financial investigator who specialized in offshore fraud. A journalist she once mentored, someone talented, loyal, and hungry for a career-making story. Into their hands, she placed everything. Hidden spreadsheets, illegal wire transfers, secret property deeds, the AP removal plan, even audio snippets of Logan's late-night calls. It was enough to raise alarms. Enough to open a case, but not enough to finish him. The investigator was blunt. "We need one thing. Public evidence of misconduct. Something undeniable. Something that shows intent. A scandal. A confession. A moment caught in the open." The kiss was perfect. But Amelia, being who she was, didn't rely on chance. Because Amelia knew something Logan didn't. Sabrina Vale, the woman on his arm, the woman he flaunted like a trophy, wasn't just a glamorous influencer. She was a liability. Just a few weeks earlier, Sabrina had been quietly arrested for her involvement in a corporate espionage ring. She was out on bail, terrified her career and life were collapsing. Logan thought she was a harmless distraction, but Amelia knew Sabrina was desperate. So earlier that very week, Amelia had someone wheel her into a private lounge across town, where Sabrina agreed to meet her, curious, cautious, and nervous. Amelia didn't waste time. "I know about the arrest," she said calmly, "and I know Logan is using you. But I can help you if you help me expose him." Sabrina's eyes widened. A man like Logan had never lifted a finger for her. But Amelia's offer? It was freedom. Sabrina agreed instantly, which meant the gala kiss wasn't a moment of passion. It was a trap, a perfectly staged moment with hidden microphones sewn into Amelia's dress. A journalist positioned with a clear view. Amelia's phone recording beneath the table. A federal investigator watching from across the room. And Sabrina played her part flawlessly. After the kiss, she leaned into Logan's ear and whispered, not quietly, but loudly enough for the microphones to capture every syllable. "Don't worry, baby. Once your wife is out of the picture, everything you hid offshore will be ours." The guests didn't hear it, but Amelia did. Her lawyer did. And the investigator, listening through an earpiece, nearly stopped breathing. In that moment, Amelia didn't just catch Logan cheating. She caught him confessing, and his downfall became inevitable. The next morning, before Logan had even opened his eyes or realized the storm waiting for him, Amelia took action. She didn't file a simple divorce. She filed a financial crimes petition, a legal move that immediately froze Logan's accounts and triggered a federal review of every shady transfer he had ever made. By sunrise, everything had already begun unraveling. Within hours, the world had seen the clips. The gala kiss, the humiliation, Sabrina whispering into Logan's ear with a smile too confident to hide. Social media exploded. Billionaire cheats on wheelchair-bound wife. Logan Parker exposed live at charity gala. Justice for Amelia trends #1 worldwide. News anchors replayed the footage every 10 minutes. Talk shows debated whether Logan had intentionally humiliated her. Public sympathy for Amelia skyrocketed. And the people Logan feared most, his stockholders, panicked. They demanded emergency board meetings. They questioned his leadership. Some even publicly condemned his behavior. But the worst blow came when federal investigators marched into Parker International's headquarters. Employees watched in stunned silence as agents carried out boxes of files, computers, and encrypted drives. Logan was completely blindsided. By noon, he stormed into a legal conference room, furious, disheveled, and sweating. Amelia sat across from him, calm and composed, her attorney beside her. "How could you do this to me?" Logan shouted, slamming his hands onto the table. "After everything I've done for you." Amelia didn't flinch. She lifted her eyes slowly, meeting his with a calm, icy stare. "For 2 years," she began, her voice steady, "you thought I was powerless. For 2 years, you thought my wheelchair meant I couldn't move through life without you." She leaned forward, her tone dropping. "But you forgot something. My mind still works. And so does the law." Logan's face drained of color. In the weeks that followed, his empire collapsed. He lost 70% of his company, millions in fines and back taxes. His public reputation, his offshore accounts, now frozen as evidence. And Sabrina, who turned on him instantly to save herself. His downfall was brutal, fast, and completely public. 2 months later, Amelia sat in her own sunlit apartment, a space filled with peace, freedom, and the quiet satisfaction of justice served. She wasn't just free. She was reborn. To the world, she was no longer the fragile woman in a wheelchair. She was the woman who outsmarted a billionaire who thought she was helpless. And the final headline said it best. Never underestimate a woman who has nothing left to lose. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more powerful, emotional, and jaw-dropping stories every week. And make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next twist-filled episode. See you in the next video.